Blood sugar.
All right, let's talk a little sports here, and my apologies to fellow fans of the Jets here. I just have to do this. The Jets, as we all know, had beyond a brutal night on Thanksgiving. It was one of the all-timers, and for us fans, we've had a tough night here and a tough few nights since then. Even Fireman Ed's tossed in his helmet. Just 3 plays from Thursday game. Well, they tell the whole story. Yes. Easy, all of a sudden, screen pass. The Jets don't decide to cover, and we have a linebacker who runs to 40 in about 12 seconds. There's 1 touchdown. Next, goes the wrong way, and our quarterback decides to go headfirst into the rectum of our offensive lineman, coughing it up. And then, all of a sudden, Mr. McKnight decides to run it back and, yes, cough it up. And then Edelman runs it back in. This happened in 53 seconds of play. But if there was one play to really sum it up, it's right here. Mark Sanchez, meet Mr. Moore, meet a certain part of Mr. Moore, and let the ball go up and whatever. Okay, enough. My point is I was conflicted about only one thing. For everyone who thinks this was the worst, I remember the Kotite era, okay? It was worse. And for all the Jet fans who are whining like myself, in 3 years, they'd gone to 2 straight championship games, missed the playoffs by 1 game last year, and conceivably, I know they're not going to, but if they ran the table with an easy schedule, would have a fighting chance for a playoffs this year. It's a clown car, and I officially freed my children from having to root for the team, but is it really... Should everybody be trying to blow this thing up, or are we too fondly remembering what came before?
No, it needs to be blown up. But let me make the point, as you showed 3 plays, that wasn't the disaster the other night. The disaster was, as a program, the fact that on Thanksgiving night, where you had people who had to leave their family to go to a game, and you know that stadium has not been sold out every night, the Jets on this night did not have a backup quarterback. Tim Tebow had 2 broken ribs and dressed but couldn't play. That says everything about your organization, because it says to me they only cared and wouldn't not undress Tebow out of fear that some people wouldn't show up at the game. Because
they thought the argument was, and I don't buy it either, but I'll say it, that the other team would have to prepare for the Wildcat. Listen,
but don't
my
you
thing
think
is,
that's a problem? How do you have one
the problem
quarterback?
with the team, and if you have to look at who the other co-tenants are in the building, the way the Giants are run.
New York football
but the way the Giants are run, starting with the Mara family, is so different from how the Jets are run, where it's about the substance, not the sizzle. And this comes from somebody who, again, isn't just a fair weather fan, but will stay a fan of the Jets. And that's the frustration out of all of this. Anyway,
well,
more lip than reality. You're going to stop piling. I don't want to hear from you, all right?
The viewers can view. The Jet fan, the Giant fan.
Okay.
The Jet fan, the happy Giant fan.
Moving on here to the firing of a head football coach in Colorado, at the University of Colorado, who normally wouldn't care about, but it raised a very interesting question. John Embry canned on Sunday. And after all, you look at the record, and I think there's cause. They went 1-11 this year and lost every single home game. Worst season in the school's history. Embry's total record over 2 years, 4-21. But he had 3 years left on a 5-year contract, and he was given a quicker hook than the 5 years his predecessor had, even though he also coached Colorado to a losing record. But whether he should or shouldn't have been fired, that's really the secondary story. The other half is that Mr. Embry is black, and he had something to say at his farewell press conference that when I first heard it I thought was whining, but then we looked at the numbers, and he might just have a point.
We don't get second chances, and that's okay. You know it going into it. Tyrone did. I don't know if there's ever been another one fired that has gotten another opportunity at the college level. But every minority coach knows that going into it.
Turns out Embry's right. The 41 head football coaches in D1 that have been hired in the last 20-something years, 30 years, only one, Ty Winningham, ever got another job after he got canned. Just 1 out of 41. And it was a point hammered home by Colorado's most beloved football coach, certainly the most successful, Bill McCartney, who said, I heard the chancellor say it doesn't matter what color his skin is. To me, that offends every person of color out there. It's as if to suggest that everything is done on a fair scale. It's not. Men of color don't have the same privileges, the same opportunities as they are under greater pressure when they step in. Now, it turned out the guy was graduating his players. He was doing the right thing. I know it's about the bottom line in big college athletics. I'm not naive. But I don't think it's an indictment. I just think it's a reality to say, Dom, that even though the majority of players in D1, yes, I'm starting with the brother here.
You're a football fan.
Yes. I can't win for
He wore a Redskin jacket to the show tonight, too.
No, you
And
see,
thank you.
because I'm in a no-win situation.
No, you are.
If I
about
tell
you,
the,
Dominic,
but
get
if I
over
tell,
yourself.
but if I tell the truth, it's not what
Tell the
some in the
truth.
public
just
want to
preach
hear.
on, Dominic.
Do you know how I wish I was a black Republican right now?
Here's the truth. News flash.
You and the
Ask
Republican
any
Party.
black man in America if you get the same opportunities. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. See, this is why I don't like to be honest. When you're a little black boy, at least with my grandmother, I was raised on a tradition of, boy, you have to work twice as hard. And guess what? My grandmother was 1,000% correct. Now, go ahead, Tom. Disagree with everything I said. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
Because
first of
he's
all-
black, too, really. But go ahead.
First of all, you were never a little boy. But the point is that I am sympathetic to what the coach said. There's no question that the facts just state that I'm sympathetic to what he said. However, the answer should be is win some damn games.
It's not that simple sometimes.
And they fired him. They're going to pay him
We
for
hope.
doing nothing.
No, we hope.
They're going to pay him for another 3 years.
We hope.
3 years.
I get-
But I'm
I
sympathetic
get-
to him.
I get-
But Tony Dungy got fired in Tampa Bay on a pro level. Ray, what's his name, got a number of jobs after getting fired in Philadelphia, Green Bay, etc. He kept bouncing around. Herm Edwards was a terrible coach. He got,
He was great Monday through Saturday.
Right,
Just Sundays
but
were a
Sundays
problem,
are terrible. But I mean, I understand what he's saying. At the college level, we have a lot to overcome,
Real quick, and I
particularly in
gotta
the
break
South.
in. Go ahead.
Particularly in the South.
I have no problem with getting fired. You lose all your home games. That's going to happen. But he's absolutely right about
He
the
is.
rehiring. And let's not forget about the ratio of black players to white players in Division I college football.
I think it's getting better.
Amen.
But
I
would
think
you
it's getting
rehire him
better, but
anyway?
I think it's a good
Amen,
point.
brothers. It's a good
You get one shot, and usually it's not the
Amen,
best
brothers.
gigs. All right,
Preach.
we come back. We're
Preach,
talking some
brothers.
baseball here. Hall of Fame nominees out. You're going to be surprised not just who's on the list, but who's being labeled with the same steroid tag as some of the worst defenders. Stay with us.